Today is June 5th, 2025. It's a fabled day for all unemployed people because the Switch 2 is out. Yes, it's finally here after what? When did the Switch come out? 2017, so 8 years. It's been a long time coming. And yeah, I decided to pick one up on launch day. This is the first time I've ever actually bought a console on launch day. I didn't have trouble getting this in all honesty. A lot of UK stockists seem to have plenty of stock still. I'm pretty sure Amazon still has stock, a bunch of other places. I got this from the Nintendo store. I originally bought it from Smith's, and then I saw Nintendo had some stock, and I was like, right, well, if I can buy it from Nintendo and guarantee it comes on release day, I will just cancel my Smith's order and get it from Nintendo. Let's take a look at the box. We've got a very nice view of the console, label of contents, all the stuff that comes with it, an overview of the console coming out of the dock, and then some legal mumbo jumbo. It's actually a smaller box than the OLED. Let me grab my OLED box. The OLED is a little bit taller. I think it's a little bit slimmer. I don't have an original Switch box, but I know for a fact they're definitely wider. They had like a wider form factor. Not that it makes much of a difference, but it's just an observation. I have had a little peek in this already, but yeah, let's crack this thing open and take a look inside. Right, as I just said, I've had a little peek already. I was really worried this wasn't going to arrive because Royal Mail just is not great in my area, but obviously it's here. Let's take a look. Ooh. You can see they've definitely saved some space from the OLED box. The OLED box has like a bunch of space where the Joy-Cons go. Let's get the unit out first. In fact, let's just get everything out first and then we'll go through everything. But the Switch 2 itself, the new Joy-Cons, HDMI cable. This is an ultra fast HDMI cable. I've seen people saying that you don't need to use this one and you can just use any HDMI. You could, but you wouldn't get 120 Hz refresh rate out of it. If you want to get the most out of the Switch 2, make sure you use an ultra fast HDMI cable. We've got the two new Joy-Con strap things with the mice gliders. We have got, I think this is the grip. You can already tell like how much bigger it is. This is going to be a lot more comfortable with people with bigger hands, but I'm a manlet and I have quite small hands. We've got the big British power plug USB-C cable, detachable for the power plug. Very much like that. And we have the dock. Wow, the dock is heavy. It's weighty. Yeah, the dock is quite weighty. I know there's a fan back here now. Yeah, standard ports, HDMI, USB-C, LAN adapter. So does it actually, no, it does not blow onto the console, which is interesting. So it must mean that the fan has some kind of piece of metal, probably copper, behind this, which is going to press onto the console and cool it down. But I've seen breakdowns and dismantlings of the console, and behind this part is the battery, so it's for cooling the battery, which I guess kind of makes sense with something that's going to be pulling a lot of power as much as the Switch 2. It's a nice dock. I know people have complained that they've gone with like the screen covering kind of dock rather than like you just put it in and it hangs off, but I guess it means it's less prone to accidents and kids knocking it off and stuff. We'll get a quick comparison here. We've got Switch 2 dock, Switch OLED, fairly similar size, fairly similar width in all honesty. Let's get on to the main event itself. The console. Ooh, it is it's big. It's definitely not as big as I thought it was going to be. I'll do some size comparisons once I've put it all together. Nice and weighty. I've got it upside down. Top USB-C for charging. All the standard stuff. I'm really not a fan of this. Oh, that is just so... When I saw this during the presentation, like, I really didn't trust this.
Large, sturdy stand.
It does not look sturdy. That is not a word I would use to describe that.
I mean, it feels decent enough. It's just, yeah, I don't know. With this being pulled in and out constantly, I don't know how long that's going to last. I feel like that'll be the first thing to break, if anything, especially when compared to the OLED stand. In fact, here's my OLED. I mean, obviously anything's better than the original Switch's stand, but yeah, just like, it's so much wider and like, it just feels a lot more like stable, let's say. And we've got the new Joy-Cons. I really like the designs of these. I think they're very, very sleek while still keeping the colours. And yeah, people are definitely gonna enjoy these larger buttons and these larger joysticks. Very nice. And I've never actually used a Joy-Con in this way, but having these larger buttons is quite nice. And these big triggers Just really, overall, really good improvement. And you've got like the mouse feature now, which... Oh. To be fair, that actually feels alright, does that? It's not like the most comfortable thing in the world because there's nothing to grip down here, but it's alright. It's not a feature I can see myself using in all honesty. And yeah, just a quick comparison with the Switch 1 Joy-Con. It is like night and day, especially with the button size. It's going to be a lot more comfortable with people with larger hands, but like I said, I'm a bit of a manlet, so these button sizes never really... Feels really nice. Nice and weighty. My first experience plugging the magnet in. That's nice. It actually feels quite big. How sturdy is that magnet? I mean, that's pretty sturdy. I mean, you probably could pull it out with enough force, but I wouldn't recommend it. And that is not loose. You have to put quite a bit of force into that to get that to push. That's very, very, very nice. That is a really good hand feel. I'm not a reviewer here. It just yeah, it feels really good. The size, it definitely feels like you're holding like a real piece of hardware. Unlike when you're holding the Switch, like this little dainty thing. We'll do some quick size comparisons. We've got Switch 2 and a Switch OLED. Yeah, I mean, the size difference is basically night and day. Look how much bigger it is. It's crazy. It's crazy, mate. Technology, all leaps and bounds. And I know it's going to be getting a lot of comparisons to this, so I do have my Steam Deck LCD model. While I think the screen on the Switch is slightly bigger, the Steam Deck is obviously longer, but that's to accommodate the touch pads and also the larger grips on the back and the extra buttons, which I'm not the biggest fan of with the Steam Deck. The grips, I kind of wish the grips were optional. I actually have like a grip thing you just slide on for my Switch OLED, and I like having the choice of being able to use that, like sliding it off, sliding it on. I kind of wish that was an option with the Steam Deck. It's a little bit annoying to try and find a comfortable position with this. And plus, like, obviously... Actually, the Switch 2 is a bit heavier. But yeah, in terms of power, as from what I've read, the Switch is a little bit more powerful than the Steam Deck. And as far as Nvidia have said, the Switch is the most powerful chip that they have done for a handheld unit. It's just going to be nice to finally be able to play modern games on the Switch. And just one final comparison for anyone who cares. Here's a Switch Lite. Oh my god, it like fits in the screen. That's funny. Oh yeah, also let's try out the Joy-Cons with the grip. That is so satisfying. That is such a better system than the bloody rails. Oh, that's nice. Feels like a real controller. And look, the C button. The C button that everyone's gonna use. Let's boot this thing on. Yeah, the blacks on that screen, I've heard people say that even though it's not an OLED, the screen still looks really nice, and the blacks do look really nice. Pretty solid. Right, I'll go through as much of the setup as I can before I have to log into stuff and put my details in. No, we don't need to read important information. Okay, internet, let me set this up quickly. You can use the very sturdy stand, and you can charge from the top just like a Steam Deck. I know when the Steam Deck was being devved, they did actually plan to have a port at the bottom and the top, but I think they removed the bottom one to make so they can have a bigger battery. I have seen the battery that's in this. It is small. Yeah, my original plan with this was to wait to see if Legends ZA got like a special edition version of the Switch, like a special like design, but I have a feeling it's not going to happen because this thing I'm pretty sure was already pushed back anyway, as was ZA, so I feel like them trying to get this out as soon as they could. Then with ZA coming out in October, I feel like it's way too soon to have a model revision, but who knows, it might still happen. I just wanted to get one so that I'm not rushing around trying to get one when ZA does release. Right, so I do want to do a system transfer from my old Switch. I'll probably just do it and then come back and I'll let you know how smoothly it went. Okay, that did not take too long at all. That probably took about 10 minutes. Oh, thank God it carried over the account with a Xenoblade free save on it from stream. Hey! And now we've just got the task of downloading stuff, which shouldn't take too long with our new internet. Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing that the UI is basically exactly the same, but it feels a bit more sleek, a bit more modern, but I really hope we get some kind of themes in the future. It would be nice. All the sound effects have changed. Right. I'm just gonna have a mess around for now. I'm just gonna explore a bit. Do we still have the big view page? And we have the groups as well, which I never use. In fact, no, let's go on. Let's use the C button. Welcome to game chat. Phone number verification is required. I guess that's to keep kids off of it. Okay, this is going to just show my phone number. We're definitely not doing that right now. I do actually want to show off, I guess, the main appeal, this being a Pokemon channel and stuff, is going to be the Pokemon Scarlet update, which is supposed to have much better, like, graphical fidelity. It hasn't actually, you know, there's not new textures or anything, but the game looks a bit better, and it definitely runs a lot better from what I've heard. I haven't seen too much, so we're going to get this updated, and then we will check out Pokemon Scarlet, and we'll see how this update has affected it and see if it's any better. Even though most of my problems with Pokemon Scarlet weren't to do with the performance, they were to do with the gameplay loop and the story and all that. Okay, we are all updated on Scarlet. I will say the soundscape on the speakers is really nice. That's one thing I really like about the Steam Deck is the soundscape is really, really good. That's, I mean, that's quite loud. Wow. I don't know how well it's coming out on video, but yeah, obviously that's 60 FPS on Scarlet and Violet, and there's a lot more Pokemon in the overworld. God damn. Wow. I mean, like locking onto stuff is so much. In fact, how fast is a battle encounter? It's instant. There used to always be like this stutter whenever you would start an encounter. Wow. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit cool. I mean, obviously it's cool, but it's also a little bit sad that, like, I'm just so surprised that a game is running properly, finally. I could technically connect the Switch to my TV and get, like, a proper recording, but I kind of like, I mean, my main use of the Switch is handheld, so I feel like it's appropriate. Plus, I haven't seen many people doing handheld shots of stuff. Everyone's just been using the capture cards, which, you know, it makes sense. Yeah, I remember Mesagoza, like, running really badly. I mean, graphics-wise, the game is definitely sharper. There's definitely not as much aliasing. And obviously, as you saw, there was definitely more Pokemon in the overworld. And obviously, it runs really smooth. It's kind of crazy. Jeez. There's definitely some repeated frames, like, I've kind of just got an eye for stuff like that. You can definitely tell, especially when, like, you can kind of see it when he moves. But it's fine, like, it looks fine, it looks really good. There's still some popping, you can kind of see Pokemon popping in, but, like, it's not affecting the performance. In fact, let's see what terrestrialization's like, because that always used to lag. God, the sound is so good. Wow, that is smooth. I'm really, really excited for ZA now. The Switch isn't held back by super old hardware, you know, we can run... I don't know why I'm saying we. It can run, you know, Cyberpunk, 30 FPS, you know, decent graphics. Like, there's no way the Switch One... in any day and age would have been able to do that. Even the PS4 struggled to do that. Even the Steam Deck struggles with it. So yeah, that's the Switch 2, or at least my very mediocre review of it. I've just got my Game Boy over here. Inside of this shell, this is a new shell and an updated screen, but inside there is my original Game Boy board from my original Game Boy I got when I was a little kid. And it's just kind of crazy to see how far handheld gaming has come, as well as Pokemon. It's really cool how technology gets better as time goes on. I will say, overall, in terms of the exclusive lineups for the Switch 2, in terms of the launch titles at least, there's not really much that appeals to me right now. I feel like the launch lineup is kind of weak. Obviously, you've got Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, is that what it's called? In a few weeks. Those kind of games don't really appeal to me, and that's definitely just a me problem. The only thing that kind of appeals to me would be the Bravely Default remake, but I don't really feel like dropping 40 quid on a game I'm just kind of interested in at the minute. But yeah, overall, really happy I got it. Yeah, here's to a new era of Nintendo. Here's to a new era of Pokemon. And I'm really, really excited for Legends ZA. I'm really excited to see what the Switch 2 is going to be able to push out of that and what Game Freak has got planned for ZA and the future. But yes, if you've enjoyed this video, this very rushed video, I'm literally shooting this and editing it the same day. Please feel free to subscribe and leave a like and let me know in the comments, did you pick up a Switch 2? If you haven't, let me know why. Let me know your deep criticisms. What games are you planning on picking up for the Switch 2 if you did pick up one? What games are you looking forward to? What's your wish list of games that you really hope they bring to the Switch 2? Thank you very much for watching. Again, I apologize if this video is not like a super in-depth professional kind of video. That's not what I advertised the channel as, so I don't know why you've come here expecting that kind of video. Thanks very much for watching. GG's. Have good gaming times, and I've got to go and quickly edit this video before 5 o'clock. It's just gone 3 o'clock, so I've got 2 hours.